Playing the role, having to undo it, unlearn it, thinking that I had to have, like Brother Ice talked about, like a specific way of how to be and how to live and have faith and love and, you know, just exist in this world that you believe God, but who is God?
Yeah.
Who is God for me?
Yeah.
Now I'm questioning everything because I didn't open myself up to everything.
Yeah.
And I thought I opened myself up to only one thing, you know, and then I went and got a second God and y'all dap it up. No, you know, so after that, it was a wrap. It was like she for the streets spiritually, for real. Always end up saying that, but it's facts. I was like, I ain't gonna be nobody victim now. Like I got myself in some mess many a times. By my choice and decision, like you said.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that growing up young. You know, I didn't hear a lot of things, but you feel it inside. You know what is right or what is that word is loaded. Like brother said, but man, what is good? What is for you? You can hear your friend tell you can love them down. Best friend, you can hear your sister tell you, but you just know inside your shondo, as you talked about. And when you start ignoring that knower, that's the Holy Spirit. He be with you even when you out there. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead. He don't say bruh, but you know. It's like, I mean, but you, you're right. It's like your discernment is tapped. You think that you know a thing about a thing, but you can't tell left or right.
Right.
You are questioning everyone and everything, and that is no way to live. And then who are you going to question at the end of the night? Yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to question what encounter you had, if the person was genuine, if it's being sincere or how you're being with people. Like you said, standing on your word, that's dope, bro. Like that's something that didn't really happen when you start being wishy-washy, when you start going with the left and the right. For myself, I'm speaking. So just, you know, like not being loyal to him really had me really disloyal to myself and to a lot of people, even though I was helpful, I was good, I was, you know, like good people go to hell. Like, you know, I didn't know who was going to hell or not. I was like, I might be there with you. I don't even know at this point. Because look, then you just let anything go with anything, with anyone, and you don't want to, and you sometimes feel like, oh, I don't think that's where I should go or what I should do or even what they should do. But you just like, because you're spiritually open. Yeah. So I would think that would be my biggest mistake.
So was it necessary?
It was so necessary.
Yeah.
It was necessary. It was. Now I'm a church mother. Now I'm an elder, apparently. I'm like, Lord, you just be restoring stuff, redeeming stuff. You that. You know, you him. But yeah, it was necessary, definitely. Yeah. If I had not, the reach that I would have with myself, even for right now, wouldn't be. I would not have tested and tried the thing by spirit. I would not see it the way that it is now. He makes all mistakes as if they're forgotten, for real. Yeah. Like, I'm the one remembering them. I'm the one bringing it up all the time. I'm sending a paragraph message to God all the time in prayer. And he's like, girl, gone. Like, we didn't move forward from that. And I'm like, oh, you know? So I took what I needed to take from that time, and I don't regret it at all. Like Brother I said, I needed to go and sit down with myself. I needed to be all over and fake busy and all these things to know what it is to be stable. Like you spoke today, to be grounded, to have him establish me. Like that's the one thing that I really wanted. You know, I was in no crying, but I just wanted to be established. I just wanted to help somebody and say, hey, we may not be in a stable place, but we can maybe be one day. Or you may not have it, but I got something. Here you go, you know? But only the Lord can establish you. So only He can make you go from nothing to something. And even when you something, He'll put His super on that natural and make you more than what you even thought. Make your life as if it started over. And it was a new one that He intended in the first place. So the fact that He got the blueprint, I'm like, I'm not shouting out no Jehovah, no nobody. It's Jehovah Jireh, the provider, you know, of my identity first before anything else. So that's where I'm at with my mistake. Oh my God.
Okay. I love it. Son, don't that sound fun? Don't that sound fun?
So let me think about it.
One and done. It was a one-hit wonder. They got through the gospel.
Too saved. Okay, so I have been thinking about this whole time. I'm not getting emotional on So Sweet Sundays this Sunday. But I right, because I'm like, don't say that because you know it's rumbling. You know, I'll drop a tear in a minute. Takes nothing for me to cry. She almost cried, I almost cried. So for me, unforgiveness. You're about to make me cry. And anger. This is why she did this. I dealt with unforgiveness a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. You know, my aunt and my uncle raised me. And so I was so mad at my parents, like, for a long time. Yeah. Because, you know, I felt like my mom left me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I felt like my dad wasn't doing his part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember thinking, like, if my mom ever called me on the Maury show, I would be that person that stood up and ran off the stage. Like, forget you. But I'm being serious. Like, in my mind, I was like, I'll show her on this show. I bet you I embarrass her. Like, nah, girl. No, I don't want to meet you. I want to be friends, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember just, you know, being upset. Like, and not that I didn't come from an amazing household. I have amazing parents. They did a wonderful job. Like, I know now that was intentional. God put me where I was supposed to be. Yeah. But, you know, being angry, angry, which kind of led to like unforgiveness and abandonment type issues. Yeah. So I would just bitterness. Yeah. Like I had a problem. Like I was a mess. Yeah. So just being angry, you know, like I would see my dad and I would have to say something. Like I would have to be mean. Yeah. Or I would have to let him know of his dropping the ball in what was supposed to be his job. Yeah. Whereas, you know, my mother, I was so angry with her because I have an older brother. She took him. So I'm like, how you take him and you leave me? Yeah. You know, or, you know, and then she had kids after that. She had 2 more kids after that. Yeah. And then so what happened is right before I went into my senior year of college, my mother and my 2 little brothers were murdered. And so I came to that place where I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Yeah. I got all this baggage. Yeah. I got all this anger. Yeah. What am I gonna do with it? Yeah. Who am I supposed to talk to about this? Yeah. Like, what am I gonna do? Yeah. And I remember just kind of getting through it, like, you know, crawling through it because I didn't have like a relationship with God. But you know, my mom helped me, my dad helped me, like, you know, I kind of just navigated through it the best way that I could, you know. And I mean, I learned that there was really nothing I could do. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, no, you got to bury that with her. Yeah. Because you can't walk around angry forever. Yeah. And with my dad, it just was understanding that somebody can't give you what they don't have. Yes. You know, I can't, and not just even from parent to child. That's just in any relationship. Yeah. You can't be upset with somebody when they don't have what you're looking for. If I come to you and ask you for $1 million and you don't have it, and you say, hey, I don't have it, how am I upset? Yeah. You just don't have it. Right. And so it was just learning to understand that sometimes what I want, people don't have. Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. You know, and it's learning that, you know, you have to forgive because you are forgiven. Mm-hmm. So for me, for a long time, I was angry. You forgive who? Yeah. You know, why should I forgive him? Yeah. Why should I forgive her? They're the parents. Yeah. I didn't ask for this. Mm-hmm. This was their decision. They made a decision. They did something. Why is this on me? Yeah. You know, but, you know, growing up, one is killed, you know, and then there's that loss, you know, of like, well, what am I going to fill this with, you know? Yeah. So it was really just, I was angry. Yeah. I was angry. Yeah.
Was it necessary?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was absolutely necessary because I now know how to walk forgiveness out. Yeah. You know, because having to deal with unforgiveness for so long. I know now, you know, not to be bitter. You know, I know now that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. Right. I understand that, you know, God had a plan. Like, I always think of Moses, how his mom put him in the basket and put him in the river. Like, that's how I picture myself. Not that I'm like saved like Moses, but he was like really saved. But, you know, like, that's kind of how I think of it. You know, it used to be something that upset me, but now it's something that I find power and strength in. Yeah. You know, it's something that I think it is, you know, it was necessary. It is well. And I think that it's something now that I stand on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you may not have had the perfect beginning. Like for me, that's the thing that I always look back at God on. Like, dang, like I was small, I couldn't defend myself. You know, I remember my parents went to Reno and my mom just left me in the apartment.
Yeah.
And they left on Thursday, came back on Monday, and they're like knocking on the door and nobody's there.
Yeah.
And so my mom is like, what's going on? And the lady from across the hall comes out and she's like, are you looking for Renee? And my mom was like, yeah, you know, she's supposed to watch her for the weekend. And the lady said, Renee been gone since Thursday. Like,
Wow.
she was like, I heard the baby crying. I went and got her.
Wow.
And my mom said, I don't remember the lady's name. She said, but when we got you back, you were in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Like you were clean. Everything was perfect, you know? So it's like, I think of those things that God will cover me
Yeah. Yeah.
when I couldn't do nothing for myself.
Yeah.
So it's just a big deal, you know? Like, God is, he be God. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Right.
But it definitely was necessary because it made me.
Yeah.
It's a part of who I am.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times people are in things that they don't think they can overcome.
Yeah.
But you can overcome anything.
Yeah. Yes.
You know.
You can do all things. through
All
Christ who
things, yeah.
strengthens you. So, what did you take from that? What was the takeaway?
The biggest takeaway was you can't be mad at someone when they don't have what you need.
Yeah.
You know, I think that we kind of put ourselves in some weird bondage when we do that. Because now they like, oh, I ain't got it. And then you're walking around mad. So now you got anger. You got bitterness.
Yeah.
You got offense. You got frustration.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
picked up all these burdens.
Right.
When you could have just been like, oh, they don't got it.
Yeah.
And went on your way. You
Yeah.
know, instead of like, well, I just think that, you know, so it's just important to know that like if somebody don't got it, they just don't got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's okay.
Right.
Because they can grow just like I've grown.
Right. Right. So that is beautiful. I love it. So have you forgiven now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, me and my dad are good. Like we're working on things, you know,
Yes.
like everything is day by day. You know, I understand that just because you weren't like the best dad, that doesn't mean you're gonna be a bad grandparent.
Yeah.
And I think that he's excited about the relationship that he's growing, you know,
Yeah.
with my son. It's like
Yeah.
it's like amazing and cool to
Yeah.
see them like
Yeah.
interact with each other. Like he
Yeah.
took them to Disneyland. Like
Yeah.
it's dope to see
Yeah.
them do those things.
Yeah.
But I think that if I had still been in the seat of unforgiveness, I would have like hindered all that.
Right.
You
right,
know, so
right.
yeah.
So what was it? What was that thing that caused you to say, I need to forgive?
I think, you know, I think it's understanding that life is so fickle. Life is so fickle. And then when I became pregnant, it was like, I don't want my kid to experience the things that I experienced.
Okay.
And that's still very important to me. But I think it was, you know, watching you and watching Jay. And I remember you even saying like, that's really important. And we could relate on that because you were like, I was really close to my grandma. And I'm
Right.
like, me too.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, no, like all things are important. You know what I mean? Two things can be important at the same time. Two things can be right at the same time.
Right.
So it was like, I wanted him to build that because to me it was like his second chance to do it, you know what I mean? And I think that's cool. Like, you know, of course, you know, you get your sea legs, it's like a baby, what I'm gonna do with this, you know? But so sometimes you call me like you know, but I understand that, you know. But I think that it had to happen because it's just important that, you know, if Sonny said he didn't want to be around him, that would have been fine, but not because of me.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so I have to give him the opportunity to formulate that.
Yeah. And it's not, you know, up to you to say, oh, he can't be in his life because he wasn't in my life.
Exactly. That's
You know,
childish.
Because like you said, when you don't know a thing, you don't know a thing.
Right.
And when he knows better, he does better.
Absolutely.
You know, and that just because he didn't have it for you doesn't mean he won't have it for Sun.
Right. Because
you know?
when he had me, he was like 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I had a kid at 20, I probably wouldn't have known what to do either.
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
grace.
And so my grandson has 58 grandpas, pawpaws. Shout out to all of them because they're all great.
Right.
My hubby being one of them. So shout out to the pawpaws.
Yes.
Y'all doing well. Y'all doing well.
Amazing.
Right. So in saying that, salvation look a certain way, and people sometimes can look at your life and kind of see the fruit that you bear. So slide that thing to Baxter real quick. So I just want you to kind of pay homage to something that conversations that you and Ice have had, and what fruit that yielded.
Okay. Yeah. So that's funny. I knew this was coming. We dang, look at us Holy Spiriting. So yeah, like you said, it's like you never know the Lord, like who the Lord's gonna use or how they can use them, and whether you're saved or not, or living saved or not at the time. And it's so funny because me and Ice were having a conversation, and it was cool because like I was just talking about earlier how I feel like it's dope because I'm like the youngest, so I'm like the little sister to y'all. Y'all be like, oh yeah, I get to pick on Baxter because she young and she don't even know, like she funny, but but I'm gonna get on her, just different stuff like that. But anyway, it's funny though because we were just having a conversation and then it ended up turning into like about being saved and different things like that, or just life stuff, getting to know each other a little more, and so it was cool. Or at the time, basically, we're talking about being saved, and then he's like, so, but I was asking all the questions, and then, you know, he's a question guy,
Right.
so just like his mother. He's like, you know, I'm gonna ask questions, but so then he starts asking questions. He's like, well, so do you think you're saved, or do you think you're walking with Christ? Like, what would you describe yourself as? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm saved. Like, I'm delivered. I'm saved. I've been walking saved for like a year. Well, like, you know, I'm growing to that point. I'm growing to this point. I'm saved. And this was like just a few, I don't even know how long now. A month ago now. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm saved. He's like, he's like, do you still, he's like, okay, so you think you're saved. So you think you saved now. He said,
so you think you know a thing, huh?
He said, so since you are saved, can I ask you this? You said, I forgot what you asked me first. You were like, because it wasn't the main question, but you were like, oh, I think you asked me if I know you had asked me if I was dating, and I said nah. Nah, boy, nah. Yeah. I'm not. Just the Lord. But that's my man. No, just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Right, my man.
Not friend.
But so I was like, no, I'm not talking to nobody. And he was like, what about that boy? I was like, no. Don't even bring it up. No. But anyway,
shut that down, bro.
Right. Shut it down. But no, and then I forgot what else you asked me. I know the main question, but I don't know what else, if there was anything else.
I don't think there was anything else. I think I went right to the next question.
Oh, he's like, he's like, you still drinking? And I was like, I paused for a second. I was like, I was like, yeah. I mean, like I drink White Claws like here and there. That's, you know, just a beverage, just a little. And then he's like, yeah, but case after case. He said one is one thing, but then you buy another one and another one. And then Right. How many bottles of beer on the wall, he said. And I said, oh, yeah. I was like, you right. Like,
You see me do that.
yeah. I was like, oh, you were here for that? Oh, we drank together?
Wow, you turned on?
No, but exactly. So basically he was like, but you're still drinking? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so you're not living saved? And I was like, well, and I tried to like think about it, and I kind of like immediately was a little convicted. I was like, but then he starts to talk to me, and he's like, because, you know, when I think of saved, this is him talking, at least, or you can even share if you want, but do you want to share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So the moment she's talking about was my nephew and my family. They went out of town, and I guess I would say I got the joy of having a conversation with Baxter. So we got a little deeper because, you know, like I said, I've been gone for so long, and building a connection with family is very important to me. So the question came about our faith and what I believe and what she believes in. And I've been around them since they've all been walking on their journey. And I know it's still little things that I see. So I asked her a question. It was just me and her. I don't really a lot of times the questions just come out because I'm just a direct person. So I really didn't have time to kind of like butter it up to not make her feel like I'm calling her out, you know? So it was just like I just was asking her, like, do you believe if you're saved or walking with Christ? Because some of the things I see are not what I know as Christ-like. And it was the drinking, because I'm a drinker, and before they were saved, we've all drunk together. And it was not so much as I do, but it's still here and there. You know, they want to wind down and have a drink, and then that drink come into 2 more drinks, and then now I got a bottle and they got a bottle, you know? So it's like we just
You get a
party.
bottle. You get a bottle.
Yeah,
They get a
Oprah
bottle.
Winfrey,
He
you
get a
know?
bottle. Yeah.
Who's driving? Because we all been drinking, so
Right.
who's driving? Oh, let's just Instacart it, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's Roz's best thing to do, Instacart everything. So, but, you know, I wasn't trying to make it seem like I was calling her out, but at the same time I was, because I want her to know what is going on, to see what she's doing is what she's been doing, to where the new life she's living, it don't sync, it's not compatible. So by her telling me she's saved, I just had to call it like, are you really? Because what you're doing is not 100% saved. Like, yes, you're going to church, you're following the teachings of your elders and the gospel that is in front of you, but at the same time, you still putting your own spin on it.
Yeah.
So I went to church, but at the same time, we winding down. I went to work and I had a long shift, so I want to just have a little drink. You can't do that. You can't do that. If that's the case, you got to find a different outlet to let that frustration out, whether it's praying, whether it's working out, whether it's talking to one of your sisters, you know. But a lot of us seem to go back on old ways to our stress relievers, to where it's like, okay, let me wind down. I know I'm upset, or I know this didn't go my way, but I know this person to hear me out every time. And it's not the best thing to lean into. It may be liquor, it may be weed, it may be sex. It's some type of demon that you shouldn't really be paying attention to. So it's all about the demons we feed. And at that time, she was feeding one of the wrong demons.
Yeah.
And
Is
was
it a
time
right
for
demon
her-
to feed?
She was feeding. Yeah, I mean, she was feeding a demon. She shouldn't be feeding any demons.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, that was a quick save. You know, I forgot where I was. So
She shouldn't be feeding
yeah,
any
you know,
demons.
when you're walking a path that don't add up, the math ain't mathing, basically. So if you walk in this way, you shouldn't be still like, okay, you know what, let me just dip over here a little Monday, because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be back on track.
Yeah.
Nah, it don't work that way, because Monday you messed up. Now you're like, you know what, let me finish off to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now I go to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now you missing church. Now
Yeah.
you cutting off the friends that you had you going down a path that you was actually meant for, to a path to where it's like, I can't shake it. So that's why I stand where I stand, because I don't want to be to the point to where it's like, I hear this right song and it make me want to dance, and
Yeah.
the dancing I want to do ain't God like. So
Yeah.
I choose to stay on one side of the fence. I'm not really a straddler.
I just want to say thank you. That was hilarious. But thank you for like for like sharing your part, because I wanted them to like kind of hear like how you said it or what your take was on that as you were speaking. And so yeah, I like that. And I feel like when you were talking, it was like you were kind of also saying like, well, we always say is like holiness or hell. So he's like, I'm not going to be on the fence about nothing. Like, I'm going to say what I said. Say what you said.
Yes.
And I'm going to stand for what I stand. He said, my word is my bond. And if I'm not, I'm not. If I am,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Like, yep, let my yes be yes, my no be no.
Yeah.
But, so yeah. So he asked me that question, and I did. I felt convicted. I was like, dang, like, I'm really out here drinking. And I'm like posting videos, talking about the Lord, how he's brought me through. And yeah, I am drinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. So I had to sit with myself. And like he said, all y'all were out of town. And I was like, okay, And I texted them immediately. I was like, Ice just really checked me. He done checked me, and he ain't even like he did mean to check me, but but it was needed. And it was so funny because at first I was like, dang, like I ain't gotta stop drinking. And then the Lord was like, do you see what it's holding up for you? Do you see how it's hindering you?
Yeah.
Do you see what's still that little sip or that too much sip is actually holding up and actually still keeping you from the things that I'm calling you to? So for me, actually, that conversation helped save me, even like super saved. No, but it helped me to lose that thing of the spirit of drinking. Really. And honestly, it's crazy that just by that conversation that really like pushed me to become saved for real. Like at this point, like I could say, I could stand firm, and I could say
what you said.
I'm saved, girl. I am saved. But yeah, and like you said, you were talking about, I don't know if you have more questions about fruit being like bearing fruit from that, but yeah, I think I really believe that was something that, and then I think generationally and how we talk about like, and we're building the foundation for what is to come and for who is to come, or if we have kids in the future, or even who we pour into, we minister to, and we raise up in Christ. And I think about, I don't want any drinking to be pushed on to that generation, to the next, or anything that I'm involved in. I don't want anything from my past to be anything that is even to hinder anything like that. So yeah.
It's funny that it was being attacked on several things, because it's not like I haven't told you guys this before, but it's like, okay, yes, I've said this, but it's like, okay, but you don't know what it feel like to be drinking and all of that. And even when I said to Rosie, I was like, what did I tell you? I was like, you are drunk.
Yeah, she said I was drunk in Monterey.
With the whiskeys.
I wanted to have a drink with dinner. That's okay. I had champagne in my room. But nevertheless, as Becky's telling us that she got checked, I was like,
She's like, dang.
yeah, I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be like, because it's like, it's just understanding that you can't be saved light.
Yes.
Because
there's no like something like hell.
There ain't no, it's kind of hell
like
down here.
Hell, right.
Yeah, but you was like, you're a drunk. And Juice was like, a drunk, Rosie? I was like, I feel attacked at this table. Okay. I didn't say I want to have some Hennessy. I just want a glass of wine with my food. But
you already was having wine in the room.
No, I wasn't. Not that day.
But I'm saying that you was. That you worried about too, and you had went to the store prior to.
Yeah, but that was first of all, let's not get the internet all out here calling me a drunk. I went to Safeway while we were in Monterey for 3 days. What did I buy? Like a bottle of champagne. It wasn't like I had Hennessy and Douce and Offset's house. Like,
but can you kind of have sex? Regardless, it's still alcohol.
No,
it's still alcohol.
Yeah. So
but again, that's your journey, and that's what you want to do. And so my thing is that because you always want to wind down.
No, not always.
Yes.
Not always. Always is like every day. Mm-hmm.
No. If it's weekly to me, it's always.
Well, I mean, I haven't been drinking at all.
Now you haven't.
So
whoa. But that was the thing that what happened on the trip. He was saying something to her, and I was saying
been telling me about drinking for a long
time.
And
finally.
And I'm like, girl, to be fine.
Right.
It's fine. The Lord loves me special. And I'm just going to have this bet. But I mean, like, to be real, we was like heavily drinking. Like, and I kind of, you get to that place where you're like, dang, like, we drinking like every weekend. Now it's during the weekdays. And now, like we got Hennessy sidecars like every night, I
don't know what that means.
Yeah, let's get some. Yeah, I never was like into the White Claws because I was like, but like, yeah, I like to have, like when we go out for brunch, I like to have mimosas. I love mimosas, so like, it's just what it was. I'm not drinking at all right now. I never said I'm never gonna have a drink again because I don't. You don't make a promise you can't keep. But like
you can keep it, you just don't want to keep it.
For right now. I'm not drinking. I'm not gonna lie How do people like? I swear,
It's
it's more than 12 days. Thank you.
my thing is it's your journey.
Yeah.
I'm a level up regardless of what you do. So that ain't it. But I still got to tell you because I'm responsible for that.
Right.
What you do don't make me know. Never mind.
It was when Jay had said. Of course, it was when you called me a drunk too. That's fine. I was like, oh. I don't want to go on vacation with them anymore. They're no fun. I mean, it was when it was like they're no fun. I didn't say right. I was like, oh wow. I said I didn't drink in Atlanta. Jeez. But when Jay was saying that, when we drink, we kind of void out our fast, and I'm like, as much fasting as we've been doing. No, it's not that it can't be. It's like the devil is a lie. Right. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it was like I've worked too hard to drink it away.
Yeah.
I'm not Solange. I don't want to drink it away.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Like, no. So it was just like, you think about those days you fast and how your body feels and, like how you feel after and, like just the things that how you're able to move when you're fasting. It's like, nah, I'm good. Like, well, I'll just take some of this power back and I'll take some. It's like, nah. It was like, no.
Yeah. So that was the eye opener for you.
Yeah, both. And you hear that the Holy Spirit telling you like, oh, for real, girl.
Yeah.
Again, another bottle? I don't think that's a good idea. You like, it's straight. We got it. It's just champagne.
He's talking about you never got it.
Yeah. Oh no, sir. Let's not talk about who don't be gotten it. I got it. And go to sleep. That's the right thing to do. You just go to sleep.
Let's go.
Oh Lord Jesus.
You spent $29.99 and you ain't gonna finish.
Jesus, help him, Lord.
I just want to say too, I just know that my lovely woman of God here and my God pop definitely were praying for me to stop drinking, and it must have sent conviction every single time because I felt sick every single time afterward. So that was a part of it. Thank God. Thank God. That's great.
But who's saying this for the
cupcake?
Stone?
So we talking about just those things to where. Is there, because you stopped drinking as well.
Yeah.
So what was it for you?
Honestly, because I was like raw, I was like, I'll be able to still have an occasional drink, right? And then after yesterday, the Lord, after I was praying over that woman, he was like, you're going to have to stop drinking, right? Mm-hmm. I said, I said, what? You're going to have to stop drinking.
Right.
And I was like, I said, like, forever? I said, like, forever? I said, even when I get married, I can't do I can't have a little. He didn't really answer that question. He just went silent at that point. But I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, all right.
So you were saying, put a pin in it, as I say. So your drinking was to put a pin in it.
Because remember when, I stopped drinking like hard alcohol, like last summer. Yeah. I stopped drinking hard alcohol, period. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was like, I had a little bit too much Henny. I was diving in the Henny. Literally, I was up in there.
Yeah.
Literally. Literally. And like even in the beginning I was like, I can have champs, right? Like I can have
what
wine.
Is that? What is
champagne.
That? Oh.
Remember when I was like, I can have a little wine, and you were like, yeah, no. You're like, no. But yeah.